How to write essays for ISB PGP application for 2019-20 admissions. In this video, we would be covering the two essay topics, broad scope of the two topics, approach for essay number 1, approach for essay number 2, and some useful tips that have worked for hundreds of our students. Essay topics to begin with. These are the two topics you may want to pause and take a closer look. The first question is about your value proposition. Why should you be selected? The second topic is about your career goals and why ISB. Let's take a look at the broad scope of these two topics. These are the two topics. Let's look at the scope of the second topic first. Your midterm career goals have to be mentioned. Connection with your experiences, skills, passion must be drawn. This is a must for an impactful essay. Your long-term career goals have to be talked about. Why MBA in general needs to be talked about and why ISB in particular needs to be talked about. In the first essay, all interesting aspects about your candidature have to come. All accomplishments, all unique attributes or experiences, professional or personal, need a mention, and all of this needs to be connected with ISB. Career summary has to be talked about somewhere, academic or professional. The scope of the topics is such that this summary can come in the first topic as well as the second topic. Now, before we get into the details of how to go about writing these essays, here is an informal disclaimer. There is no single correct way of writing the essays. We are trying to suggest a broad approach, some sort of guidelines and scope for writing effective essays. You may have your own very different style of approaching these essays, and they may actually do wonders for your case. The uniqueness, rawness in one's original style actually helps more often than not. So now let's look at approach for essay number 1. Before you go about writing this essay, you need to ask yourself a question that what is your candidature like? Is it that any one broad and unique aspect about your candidature makes you a valuable addition to ISB? For example, a very unique professional background. You are a sports person, soldier, doctor, a fashion designer, or you carry unique cultural background, a very different nationality, hefty global exposure, etc. Remember, ISB has only 1.5% of the class as international passport holders. Frankly, only 20% of the candidates would fall in this category, where one broad aspect would make one a valuable addition to the class of ISB. Let's define this category by the category of a soldier. Most candidates would lie in the other category, where multiple small aspects would make one a valuable addition to ISB. For example, you are a software engineer, you lived in small and big towns, have worked internationally, you've played state level sports, you had a rock band in college, you carry rich social sector experience, you played advisory role with a startup, you carry brilliant academic record, you have been in a leadership role in a multicultural setup, you've organized large scale events and stuff like that. So you see, no single aspect is strong enough to claim value addition to ISB. However, all the factors put together make you a valuable candidate. So first thing first, ask yourself that what is your candidature like? Is it a unique soldier-like candidature, or is it a conventional software engineer-like candidature? Here is a list of virtues that B schools value. Please pause the video, take a close look, and figure out that which of these virtues apply in your candidature, and accordingly decide for yourself that which of the two categories you lie in. Now suppose you lie in the unconventional soldier category. Your approach for the first essay should be around how this single unique aspect about you will contribute to the academics at ISB, the classroom discussions at ISB, team projects at ISB, student activities or student clubs at ISB. You may want to mention a couple of clubs that you are interested in, and how will this aspect contribute to the bonhomie, camaraderie, inspiration levels of the student body at ISB. A structure that you can have for your essay is have an impactful opening para clearly summarizing that single unique value proposition that you bring to the table. Make a strong first impression. Thereafter, have multiple paragraphs on how this uniqueness of yours will contribute to these aspects we talked about. You can have maybe 3 paragraphs, one on contribution to academics and classroom discussions, one paragraph on contribution to team projects, and one paragraph on contribution to student activities and camaraderie inspiration levels of the student body. And then you can have a strong ending to the essay. Now, if you belong to the second category, the conventional category marked by a software engineer, your approach is still to convey that how are you going to contribute to the academics, classroom discussions, team projects, student activities, clubs, and the bonhomie, camaraderie, inspiration levels of the student body at ISB. And to build a case for this, I would suggest two different structures. The first structure, start with a paragraph that clearly summarizes the combination of accomplishments and virtues that make you unique, thereby make a strong first impression, and thereafter have multiple paragraphs on how this uniqueness will contribute. So once again, have a paragraph for academics and classroom discussions, one paragraph for maybe team projects, and one paragraph for student activities and bonhomie. And then have a strong ending. The other structure is have a general powerful opening, then have one set of accomplishments and virtues together with how it will contribute to ISB, and have three such paragraphs, each paragraph having one set of similar or related accomplishments together with how the same will help you contribute to ISB, and then have a powerful ending. Let's now look at approach for essay number 2. For this essay, irrespective of which of the two categories you belong to, the approach remains the same. We need to mention career goals after 4 years, a clear role and a clear industry must be mentioned, link with your background, skills, passion must be drawn, career goals after 9 years must be talked about, once again a clear role and industry, and very importantly in the longer run you must talk about an impact that you would bring on your industry or your functional area. Have 3 to 4 points about why MBA in general and 3 to 4 points about why ISB in particular. An alternate structure can be, especially if you have not talked about your career summary in the first essay, start with a paragraph on academic and professional summary, mention all key accomplishments, mention career goals 4 years after graduating from ISB, specify role and industry. Now imagine here the connection doesn't have to be drawn because the academic and professional summary shall lead to the connection. Then have a paragraph on career goals 9 years after graduation, role and industry together with the impact that you would have on your industry or functional area. Have 3 to 4 points about why MBA in general and 3 to 4 points about why ISB in particular. To help you with these two parts, I have a slide here about all the main reasons and takeaways from an MBA. You may want to pause and take a closer look, and then I have a slide for you about all the main reasons why a candidate may be interested in pursuing MBA from a particular B school. Please see which of these apply to you. These two slides are very important. Let me now elaborate on some useful tips that have worked for hundreds of our students. Most importantly, make the essays personal, have a high emotional appeal rather than a professional or very academic tone. Remember, essays need to be sincere, they don't have to be necessarily formal. In fact, the more personalized emotional essays carry greater appeal. Don't just answer the question, don't just kill that word limit, please tell a story. Sound positive and passionate. It's a young, energetic class of around 25 years old. Sound like a potential business leader. Don't just mention career profiles. Anybody can talk about designations. So rather than saying that you want to be a CEO of such and such company, talk about what impact you wish to make in that capacity. Remember, it is about the role, not so much the designation. Next, please don't waste words in fancy introduction or conclusion. A very common mistake by candidates. Remember, you have only 800 words to make an impact. Please focus on takeaways for the reader. Please suggest feasible career goals. Not doing so is another very common mistake by the candidates. Have goals which are neither too peculiar nor too broad or vague. Please ensure a rich paragraph on why ISB. Every B school, including ISB, loves to know your reasons for applying to it when you have so many options. And then crucially, please personalize your response. Don't just randomly praise ISB. Link the virtues you are talking about with your career goals and your educational needs. And on that note, I would end this video. All the best for your ISB application.